What's up, everybody? We're back from the holidays, a much needed break. Just got to spend a lot of time with family and friends, and we kind of got to shut off all the social media, which I do suggest you do for at least 2 to 3 weeks every year. I usually choose around Christmas because I'm with family and friends anyway. So, but we're back at it, and one of the first topics that I want to approach is that I've always wanted to go to EVO, which, if you don't know, is a giant fighting game tournament. It's like the Super Bowl for fighting games. And I've always wanted to go. I've always enjoyed watching it from afar. Looks like everybody's having a great time. But when I went to go look at the ticket prices, I was kind of blown away. I was like, what? They were $200 per person. Plus, if you want to compete, you got to pay another $10 to $20 to compete. So if I wanted to play Street Fighter, I'd have to pay $200 on top of another $10 to $20 for that, for each game, basically. And it just got me thinking, like, who is this event for? Because I'm just a casual, and that price is on the high end. Because not only am I having to pay for the ticket, I've got my flight. So let's just say me and another person, my girl. So that's going to be about, I'm going to say $1,000, like $500 each. Then I'm going to have to pay for our hotel. Let's just chalk it up at another $1,000. Let's make it simple. So we're looking at $2,500 to attend this event. And I don't plan on competing. I'm just there for the spectacle. I just want to try out all the new games, kind of see all these sponsors set up their booths, try out new products. I could care less about competing. So, like I said, maybe it's not for fighting game, but I just remember what it was like to be a competitor. And my first gaming events were these MLG events, which were Major League Gaming. I think they were the #1 gaming event that I've ever seen, and nothing has topped that since. And back then, we used to pay $60 each for the weekend. Now, I don't know how profitable it was, but I know bang for buck, if in today's economy, I would pay that in a heartbeat. And I would even say even $100 to me is pretty acceptable for a convention for the weekend. But $200 is a little pricey, where I start to say, is there enough value in this event for me to pay that for me and my chick? It's not just me. And it just got me thinking, like, who is this event for? And I definitely don't think it's for competitors, because unless you're already established, like top 32 in the world, you're paying that much money to go 0 and 2. Which, if I entered, I would go 0 and 2. And I just don't want to pay that. Like, what I'm trying to say is, for all the aspiring pros, or, if they want to go pro, if they still want to go pro in these fighting games, like, how is anybody supposed to, like, the majority of kids that are going or trying to chase this dream are like high school kids and college kids. And if you know anything about them, if you've ever been that, you know that you were pretty broke. So $60 was pretty manageable. Plus, like, I think $500 to $1,000 for the whole weekend. But I want to say it was closer to $500, because you would just, like, ride share or carpool with some buddies, and you would be, like I said, for $500, which is manageable for a high schooler if he's got, like, a part-time job. But $2,500? So what I'm saying is, they've kind of priced out any new aspiring professional gamers. And that is supposed to be who this event is for, but it just doesn't feel that way. Maybe it's more for the middle-class adult, which I would consider myself now, like, super diehard fan. But But even me being that now, I'm not a super diehard fan. I just always wanted to go and like check it off my list of things that I wanted to do. But now we're approaching a price point where even me, like technically I do have the money, but I just don't see the value. I think you can get a lot of the stuff done at these places like in one day. But they almost have it where it's almost cheaper for you to pay for the 3-day ticket. I don't even know if the EVO even offers a 1-day ticket, but it's going to be so close to the 3-day ticket. Like obviously you would just I might as well pay for the 3-day ticket. Anyway, I just want to say Major League Gaming was the best. They'll always be the best. They were the best value, best bang for buck. And I was able to see that tournament grow until they eventually were bought out by Activision, who I think were just trying to eliminate competition, but they were able to be bought. And I think that they actually did everything right in my opinion. Like I said, obviously I don't have access to the finances, so I don't know if it was financially viable in the long term. But if anybody from MLG ever sees this, I just want you to know, like, those are some of my best memories in my life. And I think his name was Sundance Giovanni. Like, wherever that guy is, they definitely need to bring him back, because I think he understood the economics of aspiring gamers. And like I said, I think $100 is like manageable, but $200 is like crazy. Anyway, that's all I got on the subject. Happy New Year. Hope everybody's having a great time. That's just what I got. Anyway, that's all I got.